What is up, everybody? Happy Thursday. I know, kind of a last minute decision to go with this, but we are live across the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse Media. This is absolutely 100% not talk wrestling, even though the opening says it is. So we're just going to call it the bonus stream. But I just didn't feel like running a new opening. Not a secret stream, Matthew. No, no, nay, nay. We're just going to talk about more of what's going on in wrestling and talk about also what is been added to what we already knew about the upcoming watch-alongs that you just got previewed with in our trailer, designed, of course, by our resident renegade, JJ Williams. So I was on Tuesday night, of course, because I went live Tuesday instead of Monday because of the Staff Boys coverage of the NBA Finals. So I was asked and agreed to just go ahead and do my stream on Tuesday, like I'll be doing this coming Tuesday, because my key's live on Monday. We'll get to that during the shills. But a lot has happened in the last two nights. I went live before NXT, of course, and let me just start there, because NXT provided some very unusual, unexpected memories for a lot of us within the multiverse of media. The show started, of course, with a battle royal to determine the number one contender to NXT champion Trick Williams. And much to our surprise, even before the show started, we got this picture tweeted out by Shawn Michaels of he and Frankie Kazarian speaking backstage at the NXT arena. I don't know if it's still called the Capitol Wrestling Center or the WWE PC. I don't know what the arena is called these days. But anyway, yes, Frankie indeed started off the show. Didn't get the entrance on television, but he did make his entrance in NXT. And I just put this up the comparison. 19 years since Frankie Kazarian last appeared on WWE television. So really cool to see Frankie back in the mix, especially in NXT. But not too long after he walked out there, my goodness, did the crowd in the NXT arena pop like crazy, as even the NXT universe apparently believes in Joe Hendry. And you can see Joe's reaction. He was genuinely touched by the reaction he received from the NXT audience. Super cool to see Joe Hendry out there on Tuesday night. Of course, neither of them won the Battle Royal, but TNA did provide exclusive footage only available that they put out on their end of things, of Frankie's reaction after the match, after the show, and then Joe Hendry just laying into Shawn Michaels verbally over Frankie's having eliminated him. It was very surreal to see it all play out. And I was super excited to see it. Also on Monday night, I don't think I mentioned this on Meech's Musings, so forgive me, any of you fans of either of these gentlemen, but it was made official for Money in the Bank that Seth Rollins, who apparently is 100% cleared despite being as banged up as he was, will challenge Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. Obviously, I'm going to edit this graphic when we get closer to our prediction show, because it will stream on Peacock. It will be on Saturday, July 6th, but of course, we'll be streaming our watch-along coverage here throughout the multiverse of media. But yeah, we finally get Seth Rollins and Damian Priest one-on-one in a non-cash-in setting, so that's pretty cool. So looking forward to that. Also, as Daniel is, very much looking forward to see what happens with the Wyatt Six and what their end game is. I am eternally fascinated by that. Very excited for Bo Dallas and everybody that is involved with that faction. And yes, it is the summer solstice. Happy first day of summer out there to those of you that care about that sort of thing. I just know it's hotter. That's what I know about today. That's why we're doing this show in here and not outside. We will be live on location tomorrow outside, so more on that again coming up in a little bit. Let's see here. A lot of stuff to talk about as far as AEW. MJF has his match for Forbidden Door. I cannot pronounce this guy's name to save my life, and I did not get a chance to watch the segment back before I went live, so forgive me, but he will be facing, I apologize in advance, oh God, Hichisero, I believe is how I'm gonna go with it until I get corrected. Hichisero will be meeting MJF. MJF's first pay-per-view match since World's End back in December, of course, when he lost the world title to Samoa Joe and ultimately took that long hiatus. Just very cool to see Max back. I am eternally stoked for him. We'll see how it plays out. I think the ultimate for my money, the end game is him and Ospreay for the championship. But I think the idea that Ospreay is going to beat Swerve next Sunday just doesn't connect with me. I don't think it's going to happen. So I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. And I also hope that Swerve retains. I'm a very mixed bag. I definitely think MJF should be in the main event in Wembley for All In. And yeah, giving him this match almost seems like kind of this is the best you can do for MJF. But you got to ease him back into it. I don't think Adam Cole is still 100% cleared, so there's no way to work that angle, right? I also think we have the Owen Hart Cup still to determine things. So let's go ahead and talk about that real quick. I know there's been matches that have already taken place. I have the bracket and I love it. You had Willow Nightingale and Saraya Deeb, Nyla Rose and Chris Statlander, Deonna Purrazzo and Hikaru Shida, and Mariah May and Saraya. The opening round of that women's bracket is just delightful. I love to see it. The men's bracket as well. Claudio and Pac, Brian and Shingo, Ray Phoenix and Jay White, Jeff Jarrett, and a wild card. Now, there has been discussion within the Jeff Meacham Network group chats that Jeff Jarrett should win this thing. It's been 25 years since Owen Hart's passing, 25 years since Jeff Jarrett won the Intercontinental Championship from The Godfather, almost as a tribute to Owen. So I would love to see Jeff win. I really would. I just realistically don't think it's going to happen, but it'd be a great story to tell if Jeff wasn't such a swarmy heel, right? Everybody loves to hate Jeff Jarrett now more than ever. So I don't know if that would be feasible. I personally would love to see it, but as Matthew says, sadly, I don't see it happening. I just don't know about the whole Swerve thing at Forbidden Door. Screwjob is very likely. There's all this chit chat about Hangman Page coming back. Maybe he's the one that cost him. Ricochet in discussion. I don't know where Ricochet's contract standing was when he got written off of WWE television, so I don't know how that is going to play into things a week from Sunday in Long Island, New York. And of course, we'll have our coverage of Forbidden Door. That'll be on Sunday, June 30th, rather, excuse me. I believe we're going live at 7 Eastern, as we do, but it may be an hour earlier. I'll have to confer with all parties. Also, next week, we're kind of figuring out the schedule here, but it will likely be Friday or Thursday. No, it won't be Thursday, because Thursday I'm booked as shit. So it will likely be Friday. The next episode of Dads will feature our booking of Forbidden Door. Each of us, JJ and I, will both be booking our own Forbidden Door card and present it to you, the audience at home. So looking forward to doing that. Also, out of AEW, and I really wanted to bring this up because, as most of you are already aware, I am a connoisseur of the Conrad Thompson series of podcasts, Grill and JR, My Role with Jeff Jarrett, What Happened When with Tony Schiavone, 83 Weeks with Bischoff, etc. Last week and this week on Grill and JR, there was a big hullabaloo. Last week, it was kind of almost like mentioned in passing about Shane McMahon possibly getting one of these images created for him before all is said and done. And people, especially on Twix, were very quick to call JR's sanity into question, calling him senile for even suggesting it. But apparently, it seems as though Shane McMahon has reached out to friends and contacts within AEW about possibly joining. And I was talking with my father and with Dylan about this morning as we got here to the studio. Can you imagine the implications of a member of the McMahon family working for any other wrestling company except WWE? That blows my mind to no end. I can't even make it exist properly in my brain that would actually be a thing. It's crazy to me to think about that possibility. But as I pointed out to my family, when you think about the fact that Declan McMahon, Shane's oldest child, is now 20 years old and in college and has expressed interest in being part of the business, with his grandfather basically being persona non grata in the company that he built into a global empire. Shane being in AEW could mean Declan being in AEW as a wrestler. And that just, again, the implications of this even remotely being a possibility are just earth-shattering for me anyway as a fan. I know our buddy Greg Cherry is a huge Shane McMahon fan, and that would just be amazing for fans of Shane to see him not only return to wrestling, but in AEW. Wouldn't that be just the damnedest thing? My goodness. Absolutely, completely crazy, but not impossible to consider, right? All right, we're going to take a... No, we're not. I was going to run that, but it's going to take too long, and I want to keep going. So, let's... Here, we'll do this one. So, you know what? I'll go ahead and run it. Screw it. It's okay. So for those of you that have been keeping up, of course, our buddy James Hebert is doing a documentary about his Uncle Gary and his career and life. And I actually want to run this because I want to get a water refresher and give you guys a chance to take in discussion, bring up questions, super chats, whatever you want before we come back and do shills. But I want to give you time. If you ask me anything about wrestling right now, please, by all means. And when we come back from this extended commercial, we'll talk about what you guys put in the chat, and then we'll go into the ridiculous, gratuitous shills.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Gary Hebert, the man, the myth, the legend. I was amazed, and I was looking to become a better skater myself, and I wanted to be like Gary.
When you look at a guy like this, he's one of the most talented people in his profession. He's been given gifts by God.
It can get frustrating at times when you're trying things that, that maybe don't come as quickly to you as other things. And you never really felt that sense of frustration with Gary. It was always about improvement and positive reinforcement.
Was it really the end? Was that head injury really the end? God has called Gary to continue to be a blessing to others and to be a passionate example.
My name is Gary Hebert, and this is the World Academy of Hockey, otherwise known as the Inside Edge.
I would recommend anybody that have a chance to come to his hockey school. I think it'd be well worth it. It'd be rewarding to all the kids and anyone he coaches, from whether it's an adult, a professional player, to a little kid like a Mike or a Squirt.
Gary, from day one, has been instrumental to my hockey career. I started out as a potential Division III player, and Gary brought me single-handedly through high school and into a top Division I prospect. I owe it all to Gary, the biggest legend on and off ice there's ever been.
Listen, watch, learn, be confident, and have faith. Those are the answers I was brought to. Yet, I only now am really learning how truly important those 5 things are.
Through preparation, through appropriate thoughtfulness and thinking, we can learn to untie the typical knots between our ears that drive us into underachievement and underperformance. And lo and behold, we can learn, I think, to fulfill our God-given potential.
Gary has the innate ability to make people not only better players, but better people. The life lessons they learn from Gary are incredible.
can always remember leaving that rink knowing as a player I got better or I had something to improve on to get better. And I think that's what you excelled on as a coach, is giving us the knowledge to know what we needed to do to get better.
There's coaches who know the game, but can you communicate and create passion in your kids and in your players? And Gary's able to do that.
Gary's got great knowledge and the great hands, but more importantly, his ability to connect with people and care for them. His communication skills, to me, really stand out and separate him, and that's why he's one of the best, in the world.
Gary's a legend. He's a special, special man.
All right. Looking forward to seeing all things regarding Gary Hebert and the documentary coming sooner rather than later from our buddy James Hebert, as we make noise behind me. Anyway, so yeah, a lot going on still. So it definitely seems like they're aiming the Wyatts toward Jey Uso. Jey Uso kind of brought them up in conversation after Raw. Of course, they interrupted his celebration with their return and their debut, however you want to phrase it. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's looking like the Wyatts are going to be on all three brands. So I think Jey Uso is definitely going to be a potential target, but we'll see what happens tonight. Tomorrow night, rather, on SmackDown. How they present them is definitely going to be very telling about what the future is going to be, if they even show up. The whole point is we're not supposed to know, right? That's not supposed to be a thing. All right. So we've added some content to the immediate future and going into next month as well. So first of all, it was made official just today from Prestige Wrestling that they are going to be broadcasting their July 12th show, Combat Clash, in Portland at the Viking Pavilion on their YouTube. So we are going to be doing our watch-along coverage of it as well, and that'll be going live on Friday, July 12th, 2 weeks from tomorrow. No, 3 weeks from tomorrow. Yeah. And then the day after that, of course, we are still scheduled to have our Saturday skirmish, our version of Family Feud, go live across the Multiverse Media for open mic night, game night. Still working on getting everybody together for that as far as who will be the teams. Greg Cherry has consented to host, so we'll see how that goes. And of course, our next karaoke night will be on August 17th as we present open mic night beach party karaoke. As far as this week, tomorrow, all things staying equal, being what they are, we will be live, myself, and it looks like the kiddo's going with me, on location at Crypto.com Arena. The Kings are having a pop-up event to talk about their new logo and merchandise behind it. So I decided we're going to go and hopefully talk to some members of the Kings arena staff and their on-air presentation folks, and we'll see how everything plays out. But we'll be there starting at 11 a.m. is when the merch stand opens. So we're going to try to be there the entire 3 hours. We'll see how things. Again, we're going guerrilla style and kind of just going by the seat of our pants. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Saturday, of course, open mic night each and every Saturday night. This Saturday, with no watch along, we'll be live at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, with our usual Saturday shenanigans, hosted by JJ, of course, as our moderator. Monday, Stat Boys Sports Bar will be live on the Cassian Studios and Jeff Meacham Network channels at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, due to Mikey's schedule with work. Tuesday, as a result, we'll be live with Meach's Musings. I will be also across the multiverse. I think I'm going to go across multiverse going forward for both Meach's Musings and whatever I end up doing the course of the week. But I'll be talking about Jack of All Trades for Thursday. I'll be talking about Forbidden Door and our dad's episode. And I'll be talking about Thursday night going to see my buddies Nikki and Bree on their Moms Gone Wild tour at the Bourbon Room in Hollywood. The Greg Cherry Show will be live Wednesday. Also talking about Jack of all trades, of course, because it's on the Greg Cherry brand, and possibly talking about Forbidden Door there as well. Thursday, big day, of course, as announced by Greg Cherry on last week's show. Maven Huffman will be one of the challengers, along with myself and Matty Laws, for Chris Cass's Jack of all trades championship. That'll be Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. I will very likely be live at the Bourbon Room. As I said, Nikki and Bree Garcia will be having their show at the Bourbon Room. Just announced in the last day or so, the special guests will be the Lawrence brothers, of course, longtime television stars, and currently having their own podcast. So going to be a really cool next 8, 9, 10 days going into Forbidden Door. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are at least close to excited as I am about it. It's going to be a really fun end to June as we hit Forbidden Door on June 30th. And of course, July, all things are ramping up. Things are just getting crazier and busier, and I'm looking forward to every bit of it. Thank you all for tuning in with me here today across the Multiverse of Media. I decided to go live, like I said, just kind of do my thing today. But thank you so much for tuning in to this not episode of Talk Wrestling. This was not Talk Wrestling by any means. But whatever it was, I enjoyed it. Hope you guys did too. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. It was set for 7. That was my mistake. I meant to hit 4, and I hit 7 because I thought 7 p.m. Eastern. So my bad, Mr. Renegade, sir. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and watch on demand, and we'll go from there, brother. Have a good rest of your night.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.